Okay, my rant on racial discrimination. I'm friends with a lot of black people, and they don't say they're being discriminated against. So I find it really interesting. I haven't found one black person my whole life that said they were discriminated against. Yet, this is a main issue in America. Yet, discrimination is the issue, yet they'd rather kill babies that are alive in New York State. The other thing you notice, too, is in New York City and these democratically run cities, they're allowing these thugs to destroy the businesses. Where other cities, they're not. So why are they allowing these mobs to loot and destroy, and other cities don't? So I find that very interesting. But if you know anybody that has been discriminated against, please share the story. I'd really like to hear it. One person told me that they felt they were discriminated because they felt uneasy. They felt uncomfortable interviewing with a white person. That's not discrimination, people. That's because you're uncomfortable. It has nothing to do with discrimination. Discrimination is when they're actually discriminating and treating you that way, not because you feel they're discriminating. So I find that very interesting too. But yeah, please post comments below on anybody you know that's been discriminated, how it has happened. I mean, granted, there is a larger amount of black people in prison. There is a larger amount of black depression. There's a larger amount of single black mothers. So is it discrimination or is it culture? What is really going on here? And why is this division? They did say divide and conquer. Is this the strategy they're using to divide America to then conquer it? I just find it, I was a victim of police brutality a few years back, and I've met multitude of people that were too, and they were all white. Seriously injured. So I find it quite interesting, and we have to understand what our rights are and what our forefathers put in place to fix this too. We expect government to fix itself. We expect electing people to fix government. Yet, is that really what they intended? No, they never intended that. We were supposed to fix it through the grand jury system, but I met a few jurors about a month, 2 months ago, and I think it was 2-3 months ago. Sorry, this COVID thing has thrown a whole loop at everything, what's going on. But I met 3 jurors, grand jurors, and I gave them information. They look at there's rampant corruption, there's major issues. I figured, wow, maybe these grand jurors will bring it back to their meeting and discuss it and realize they're the checks and balances. But they came back and said that, well, they don't tell us we can do this, when it says right in the grand jury manual that you can investigate public offices. The grand jury is an independent organization. It's not part of the government. It's not part of the courthouse. You're just there because that's where the prosecutor brings you information. The grand jury used to be held at churches, town halls, sheriff's office, sometimes restaurants, because it's solely in the hands of the people. Because the grand jury is only mentioned in the Bill of Rights, it's solely in the hands of the people. That's in a case called U.S. versus Williams. Antonin Scalia stated multiple cases that fact. But I found that alarming that the grand people sitting on the grand jury were afraid of the government, precisely how they want you to feel. Because the last thing they want is what they call, the term is runaway grand jury. Do a search on YouTube on that or on the internet. Runaway grand jury. A runaway grand jury is a true constitutional grand jury. A runaway grand jury is a grand jury that does their own investigations on their own initiative, on their own power. And that's called a presentment. So the presentment or indictment by a grand jury is what you need to be charged with a crime. The presentment only comes from the jurists themselves. So can we trust the government for really hiding this from us? Can we trust the attorneys and the attorneys that become judges to hide this very important aspect? Like I stated in my previous video, can you expect your children to behave themselves if you don't punish them? No. So we have runaway, unaccountable government, no different than a runaway child that does what they want to do without being punished. It's human nature to get away with things when you have evil intentions or intentions that they feel, well, there's no law that says it wrong. We control the district attorney, we control the sheriff, we control judges because we put them all there. We put them in these positions so they won't go after us. And guess what? That works. That's why a lot of these positions are controlled by the status quo party leaders in your own county that you don't even know you have a direct access to and to control yourself. So coming up to my auto repair shop here, I gotta go to work. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day. Post some comments below on racism and what you think. 66 degrees. I think it's supposed to get up to 80s today. I'm excited. Bye-bye.